And we're live. And we're live for another episode of Slaaap Haaapy.
We can do it like this all day. Hey, don't stop. Inhibitions run away. Hey, don't stop.
That's right, people. We're here. We're doing it. This is Slaaap Haaapy. My name is Civilian. I'm the host of Slaaap Haaapy. And today I'm doing it with
Wesley Black.
Wesley Black. Welcome to the show, Wesley Black.
Oh, thank you very much for having me. It is my pleasure to be here in this beautiful city and this beautiful home.
All right, well, let's start. Where are you from?
I am from Perth. So,
Okay.
yes, it was actually my first time in Sydney and Melbourne about 2-3 months ago. And that was the first time I met you when we did a show together.
So that was your first time in Melbourne?
Oh, actually, that's a lie. That was my first time in Sydney, that trip, but I have been to Melbourne when I was 5. So
yeah, but that doesn't count.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If we're not counting that, then yes. And now I'm back again for round 2. Just was in Sydney
But this doesn't really count. Like,
yeah,
we'll get to that, but like,
yes, true. Today doesn't really count, but
Yeah.
I am technically in Melbourne right now.
You are.
Not as extravagant as last time,
No.
but I'm here.
Yeah, cool. All right. So what brings you to Melbourne this time around?
Yes. So today I came here with a goal to shoot a music video, which is for my next release called I Don't Like Your Friends. And the 2 artists on there are both Melbourne artists currently. So they're living in Melbourne. So I was in Sydney and they said, how about this date? Was literally my last day in Sydney. I was like, cool, I'll take off from Sydney one day early and I'll come home on the same day and I'll just spend the middle day kind of thing in Melbourne. And so that was the plan. A very short stint, but I'm here.
But it worked out nicely.
Yeah, shot the video all day and all night pretty much and zoomed straight from there to here. And yeah.
You made it.
Yep.
And then pretty much straight on a fucking plane back to Perth in a couple of hours.
Yeah, unfortunately. Not going to be my greatest sleep tonight, but hopefully there's a couple of hours in there.
Yeah. Have you got anything on tomorrow? Like, do you need to be up for anything or?
No, but surprisingly, it actually is my grandparents' 55-year anniversary of being in Australia because they were born in Italy. So they actually having their celebration tomorrow night. We're getting a big Italian feast. So I'm very keen for that, some wine and pasta and whatnot. So I'm looking forward to that. And so that's in the night. And my mum also said we can double it up as my homecoming as well, even though I was only gone for 2 weeks. But I was like, hey, if there's a reason to celebrate, I'll take it. I'll
take it. Yeah. Get to be the center of attention.
I'll take it for sure.
So wait, 55 years, that's hectic. So at least you'll be able to like sleep during the day and then maybe like get a bit of rest during the day and then get ready for the nighttime festivities.
100%. I reckon I'll probably sleep all I can on the plane and then maybe once I get home, try and sneak a 3 or 4 hours in there so I can get that 8 hours in somewhat.
So what is it? Is it 3 or 4 hours to Perth?
I think from Melbourne to Perth, it is about 4 or 5. I think it's more towards
Slightly
the 5
longer.
hours. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Because I've only ever done that trip one time, but it was at the end of I went and worked for a music festival. I used to do like social media management for music festivals, so I'd like just rock up, like I don't know, just do whatever I had to do basically. But I went to this festival. It was like south of Perth. I don't know, I can't remember the name of it, but it only ran once. This festival, and it was by the same people who owned, or he used to run like I think Stereosonic and Big Day Out. He used to run all those like bigger ones.
Okay.
And then he went and put this one down south of Perth. It was a 3-day camping festival, and I went and it was fucking wild. And then it was totally wild. It was like the Wild West. It was like, it was hectic. And then the last night it was this whole campsite was a massive party. Everyone, staff, everyone just got fucking loose. And I had to be on a plane at like 10 a.m., but I did not sleep at all. And I was throwing up on the plane, and I was just I was such a bad state. But yeah, that was my experience.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like there's good and bad in there. That's so weird that it only ran once. If it was like ran by someone super successful and it was good.
I think there was a couple of issues around like how it was run, and I don't know, there was definitely some stuff going on that I don't think was meant to be going on. And I think it was kind of getting towards I don't know if you remember, there was like a bit of a golden run for like music festivals in this country, like, and especially with the camping ones. So it's just like, you could basically just run a 2-3 day camping festival or like a dance festival like Stereosonic, Listen Out. You could basically run anything like that and just sell it out and like be guaranteed that you're just going to make your money back.
Yeah.
Around that time, obviously that kind of ran out at a certain point, and this was kind of around that time when it started to like run out, you know, when a lot of the festivals were doing similar lineups and like it was just kind of getting a bit stale.
100%. So it was kind of unfortunate timing and all that.
I think so. But yeah, anyway, that's I digress. So you're gonna have so what's an Italian like family festive kind of get together look like?
It's
that sounds kind of fun.
It is. To be fair though, the family that I'll usually be seeing in those is not usually as big as like what they will be in like the movies and stuff, you know, like I think that there's like a big joke around Italians that they have super big families and they're all like super loud, which my family is definitely super loud, but there's not as big, like in our extended family for sure, which we see every now and then, maybe every 2-3 years or something, but just the usual gang is maybe like around 10 of us or something like that. But usually involves
Is that what's going to be there tomorrow night?
Yeah. So usually involves a lot of Nonna cooking, but she won't be this time because obviously we're taking her out kind of thing. It's more so her treat and stuff. So we're going to this one that's pretty close to her because she doesn't want to go too far as well. It's kind of in her area. So I'm not actually sure. I haven't been there before, but I know there's definitely a lot of red wine, which only this year I've been accustomed to, but now I love it actually. It's now one of my favorites. So I used to hate it last year, but now I've just, I don't know, done a whole switch up. I don't know. Like I just
getting older, those mature taste buds.
It could be because I got into white wine because that's like the middle ground. I was like, cool. White wine is like good. I was like, it's fine. And then I was like, tasted a few reds and I was like, wow, these are way better. And I tasted some that were way worse. But now I'm just like, no, I think I'm kind of leaning towards like red wine is just like better in general. I don't know. And also it makes you look fancier as well.
It does, 100%. You can look sophisticated.
In a suit and red wine, come on.
100%.
It's over. But
you could honestly have the most dead ass job in the world. You rock in with a suit and some red wine, swish that motherfucker around.
That man's a CEO. He's a CEO now. So it should be a lot of that, a lot of pasta. So it's going to be a very filling meal, which is the great way to come back after having a lot of days here where I'm getting, you know, cheaper food or even noodles and whatever it takes to get by. I'm happy to have a good homecoming meal, if you would call it.
Yeah, awesome. Where did you? I just got to know this. Where did you transition from? Like, white wine was in the middle, red wine is now. Like, where did you? What was before that?
Oh, before that?
Yeah.
Do you know soju?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was really big on that Korean drink, and yeah, it was just really all about that. And that was like kind of the first drink that I like really loved. Like before that, I was just drinking like ciders and stuff. Like I've never really been about beer. Yeah. But ciders, I was like, oh yeah, this is all right. And then soju was like the first drink that I was like, damn, this is really good. And then white wine, I was like, okay, cool. This is kind of the same, maybe a bit worse. But now I'm like red wine. Oh, it's like, I don't know. Everything's just falling into place there. Totally. I think it's really the sophistication, you know.
100%.
It has to be.
Yeah, no. I'm the same a little bit with whiskey. Like I wanna get to a place. I'm not there yet, but I want to get to a place sometime soon where I can just have like straight whiskey.
Yeah.
And you know, I can talk about, because there's like certain brands like McAllister or McCallum or Lagavulin, and there's all these real cool like Scottish and Irish whiskeys and stuff. And I feel like as soon as you start talking about them, you instantly become someone on like, you know, six figures.
Yeah. And you're way more manly as well, I feel. So
totally.
I don't know. I feel like that's...
I think red wine as well. Like I feel like red wine, some straight whiskey. If you're on those guys, you're just like a sophisticated adult man.
Yep.
You know?
Say less.
Yes.
I'll shake on that.
Say less. Oi, big fella, what's going on?
Yo.
All right. I don't know. I know we're talking about the celebration tomorrow night, but all right. And why you're here. So you talked about the song. Are you allowed to reveal who you're featuring on the song with?
Yes, actually. Yes, I can. So Nuxe Beats is the producer. So so he produced the song, and Jackson is the other artist. I'm not sure if you know him.
JXN?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
So it will be the three of us.
I know him. He's good. I like him.
I really like him. Hey, I love his stuff, and I have actually for a while, and I was super excited last time we kind of teed up the session, and kind of made that song on the spot from like the ground up and stuff. So it was the three of us there. And so it's going to be releasing with all of us as primary artists, I believe.
Oh,
so it'll
beauty.
be, which is super exciting because I'm like keen. I can push it as my next one and they can do the same as well. So, and so, yeah, it was just nice that the timing was perfect. And because actually Nuxe used to live in Brisbane, he only just moved here 6 months ago and he was actually in Brisbane just a few days ago and he drove back for it. The videographer apparently lives in Sydney, but he was in Melbourne for a week.
Wow,
and
so all
I didn't know
the
that.
stars have just aligned for
Literally,
this.
there was someone from Melbourne, Queensland, Brisbane and Perth.
Holy shit.
All just in the same room for
Just happened to be.
Yeah. Literally, this was the only day that we were all there. So it just worked out like literally too perfect. So,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, but I was stoked. It went really well and stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, do you reckon you got everything that you wanted out of the shoot today?
100%. And we got the, and as well, I heard the demo mix before and I really liked it. And now I got the master in maybe 2 days ago and now I love it. So it's like everything that I wanted to change got changed and everything I didn't even know I wanted to get changed also got improved and stuff. So I was like, dope, this sounds awesome.
Can't really ask for much more.
Yeah, literally. So cover art all set, master all set, music video currently going to be edited and stuff. So August 5 it comes out.
August 5. Okay, cool. Well, I don't think we can. You don't have a pre-save link or anything like that yet?
Not yet. No.
Okay.
Not yet.
All right. Well, when you get something like that, we'll make sure we drop it down in the what the fuck do you call the thing down the bottom of this video?
The comments or
No, the thing above that.
Oh, the bio description.
Description. Yeah. Link in description.
Yeah.
Yeah, hectic. Okay, cool. What else has been happening?
So yeah, I guess I've been quite busy. So
because I said you were over here 3 months ago ish for that last show. What's been happening since then?
So since then, I've just been really excited with the last release, and it's started to gain a bit more attention in ways that I haven't really got before. So I was just like, I really want to make sure this next release is special and perfect and stuff. So I just have really been working on a lot of music. And so actually with my friend, oh no, you wouldn't have met Dawn. He didn't come to Melbourne. But my friend Dawn, who I work really closely with, he came with me to Sydney last time.
Okay.
He's a producer.
Yep.
And so we've locked in since that last trip. Every Tuesday we have to have a session together.
Oh,
we'll just like work on music and stuff.
Love that.
Which has been really good. Like we produced a lot of stuff. There's has been times, of course, where it's like we're more burnt out. It's like, oh, it's a bit of a struggle. But I feel like in the long run, for sure, there's a lot more hit sessions than there are miss sessions and stuff, which is really sick. So yeah, I've just been really crafting that as well. I've been doing a lot of designing and videography stuff, which has really picked up lately, which is dope. So I run my own like freelancing design kind of business called Angel Archive.
Okay.
And that's will be like most of my clients are musicians, of course. So like stuff like, you know, cover art, events, posters, stuff like that, or music videos and whatnot. I'll be kind of tending to those. And I got to do a few within that space as well. One of them I actually edited while I was here and dropped while I was here, which was shout out Capes. It was his entry into the Triple J Unearthed High School competition.
Awesome.
And last year he was actually a finalist and he won the Indigenous Initiative. So this year he's trying to win it. And this was his submission. Last year I got to shoot his video as well. Actually, fun fact, last year when I shot his music video, that was my first ever music video I got to shoot, edit, and direct.
Yeah.
And this year he got me to do it again. And I literally dropped like 1 year ago to the day I launched that account and stuff. So I told him, I was like, yo, that's actually dope. I was like, thanks for getting me on. So it's like, you know, timing. The whole first year has like started and ended with the same guy, same competition entry and stuff. So hopefully he can win. I think he's got a really good chance. The song's a hit. So.
That'd be interesting for you as well. Like as a, like with your craft in this aspect, the videography or the design or the production element of it, like getting to see like what a year's worth of development looks like.
Yeah.
Especially with the one artist. Like, have you been able to see that? Like,
100%. He's improved so much, and like even like I knew him probably a year before that, and it's just like nuts to see his growth. It's like it's crazy to see where he's going to be in a few years' time and stuff. I don't know. I've really loved and last trip as well. I got to shoot my first video in Sydney, which was dope because I got to meet a lot more Sydney kind of clients and stuff that I could work with and stuff. So I don't know. I really enjoyed that, and otherwise what did I get up to? Oh yeah, It was actually quite an interesting house that we stayed in. So it was a group of 6 of
Where?
us this time in Sydney. It
In
was,
Sydney? Okay.
Burwood.
Yeah, I know Burwood.
Oh, you know Burwood? Oh, cool. Yeah, so we stayed in there and we did think the house was haunted when we got into there. It was like...
did?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like the windows were all like barred up and there was like cupboards on cupboards on cupboards, but a lot of them were locked. And like there was also like a cupboard there, like one that wasn't attached to anything, but behind that was another cupboard that was like attached to the wall and stuff. And so this was like blocking it. So I was like, I don't know what's in there, but the one in front of it was locked as well. So I was like, there's
Dead
just
body.
too many in
100%.
there. Yeah, and there
Dead
was like
body.
mirrors in every room as well. I don't know. It was just too much for me. And also we arrived at like 11 at night and we were just like, this is the house? Because the Airbnb photos only showed the inside. So it was definitely a big surprise. But you know what? We all survived. So
You did?
yes,
Okay.
well, to my knowledge. So
No one's had to get exercise since.
yes, hopefully not. Hopefully not. But yeah, it was really sick. It's interesting to live in a group of people like that. So like, you know, we're all like different and stuff, but we have the same mind. And it was really good to see just the balance between like banter in the house and like as soon as we left the house being like, all right, work mode, like let's get
Game
some
time.
stuff done and
Yeah.
stuff. And it was just like, it was really good because it's like, you know, you don't want to have to go home and like we did go home and like when I would make tracks and have sessions those days, we would come back and we would listen to the songs and they would like give feedback and stuff and I'll give feedback. I'm like, I could have done this better. And then it kind of just like ended after that. And we're like, cool, let's watch some TV. Let's just like
Yep.
have some drinks or something. Let's do something. And I was like, cool, that actually felt good that I could switch off that and then switch it back on the next day and stuff. and, you
Totally,
know, have like,
totally.
yeah, actually sleep and relax and stuff at the end for sure.
Yeah. No, I think it's important to have that downtime, that relaxation, let that brain kind of wander.
Yes,
Let
yep.
the brain reset a little bit.
100%.
Because I feel like being young creatives, you can definitely get caught up in the what am I missing out on?
Yep.
If I'm not hustling or doing something right now that's productive or like working towards like an end goal, what am I missing out on?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. So being able to like develop that skill early, I think is because I think that's what the people who really, really make it, they're able to like get to that place where they have like certain times where they're like totally switched on and times where it's just like
Yeah.
they're with their family or like work is second, you know?
Yeah.
And I
'Cause
think you need that balance.
Yeah, because otherwise you can like burn yourself out 100%. And also like if you don't have that mindset, it's like, you know, you don't want to be turning away family and friends and stuff like that because you're just
Absolutely.
like so work orientated because that can also obviously come back to bite you. And it's also just like, come on, you need family and friends.
Yeah. Yeah, you end up creating these like narratives like, you know, my time is you're good? All right. See you, Koo.
See ya. It was good to see you.
I'll see you next time, bye. Yeah. You can end up creating these narratives like my time is more important than this like random family event or like this friend's birthday or whatever. So
Yeah.
and they're obviously very dangerous kind of lines to walk or paths to walk when you start kind of coming up with these ideas about, you know, your time being more valuable than this or that or whatever. Which is all kind of like a matter of priority and perspective, but it's something that, you know, can take time to develop. But I'm glad that you're able to get to that place on the trip.
Yes, yeah, 100%. Well, hopefully, at least that's where my mind is, and that's where I want to keep it and stuff. But hopefully, I
but
can.
even
so-
acknowledging it from that trip is like, oh, that was cool how that worked. Like
Yeah.
the structure of this was actually probably better for the whole, because you got to look at it holistically.
Yeah.
You know, recharging the battery so that you can go harder the next day.
Yeah.
And then giving yourself that downtime to let the brain wander and stuff like that. Like it's a holistic approach and yeah.
100%. Otherwise, like you said, it kind of trails on and stuff. You know, you're using that energy all the time. It's bound to burn out. Whereas, like, you let your time recharge and stuff by thinking about something else, and you can get to that point again and again.
Yep. And a lot of like, you know, super mega, like the smartest people in history, like Einstein and I know some other smart motherfuckers, they always talk about like letting the brain rest, wander, you know, like going on walks and not actually thinking about work, just letting your brain just sit, you know, like there's a guy named Ryan Holiday who has a podcast called The Daily Stoic, writes a lot of books, really, really prolific author. And one of his or probably his most prolific, his best-selling work he came up with while he was just on a hike with his kids, because he was just like in nature and he was just like not thinking about work. So naturally, like his brain just kind of like started doing its job, tapping into its subconscious and just going, all right, well, what do I need to do here? And it came up with something, and he ended up going home, writing this book, and it ended up being his bestseller. Yeah.
So true as well. And it's even like music and any sort of art, you know, sometimes you're just working on something for so long, or you're looking at something so long, or listening to it time and time again. You're like, something's not right. And it's like, sometimes I just feel like you can't get it done that day. You're like, go step outside, go for a run, go do something. And then when you come back to it, sometimes you're like, oh, wait, this is already hard. Like, this is dope. Or you come back and be like, oh, maybe I should just change this. And it's like having that refreshed mind just like lets you get past that blockage straight away. So it's like exactly what you said.
It's almost like staring at the screen so long that your eyes go blurry, but thinking that staring at the screen longer is going to actually
help.
You got to like look away and actually rub your eyes and maybe let them rest for a second.
It doesn't help.
Doesn't help. Just fucking look away.
Yeah. Close your eyes for a second.
All right, hectic. So the last release that you spoke about, I'm assuming is
King of the World?
Is King of the World?
Yes.
That was the last release?
Yeah.
All right. So, and that came out like a couple of months ago, 3 months ago?
Yes. Yeah. It came out in March, actually.
Yeah, cool. And how, because I saw that when you first came over here, like doing, like just looking up who you were and stuff like that, and seeing that the single launch had sold out. What was that like?
Yeah, it was really awesome. Hey, I always felt really strongly about that song, and it just like, I held it off for a while just for like, literally just for personal reasons, that I was like, I want to make sure when I release this, I'm fully feeling how I felt at the time where I wrote this song.
Yeah.
And when I was going to release it, I was like, I'm just not feeling this. I want to release something sadder. And I did. And then because of that sadder song, I was like, oh, cool. I actually feel a lot better now. People like this new sound. It was just like, I was releasing hard stuff for so long.
Yeah.
I released one like really stripped back sad song. And it was like cool to see people like the whole change of a pace, where it was like, whole different genre, really. Like I was just singing instead of rapping.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was like, cool, this is the perfect time to release this song. And I was just like super stoked with it and stuff. And yeah, so the release party for it was like a week later. And yeah, that sold out, which I was like super stoked about. So it was at the Aardvark, which I just actually saw maybe a day or two ago, has officially closed down, which is very sad actually. I don't know. They didn't say why. They just said like, thanks for all the years and stuff. But we're closing now, which is sad because it's in, I don't know if you know Fremantle, but any Perth listeners will definitely know Fremantle. It's like in Perth, there's only like two spots. There's like the city and Fremantle. They're just like the only two spots to go. And Fremantle for everyone like south of the river is like the prime kind of spot. So it's like, and it's like right in the middle of there. So I actually genuinely have no idea why it closed down.
And this is a really well-known venue?
Yeah, like I've seen like heaps of like bands and stuff there. To be fair, it's not really a rap venue. It's like always like bands, singers and stuff like that. That's why I was like, singing song, let's give it a shot. But I really liked it. I put more of a singing lineup on there, more of like a melodic lineup and stuff. And I was just really stoked with it and stuff. And it was good because, I don't know, like everyone kind of just like stuck through and stuff. And so everyone was there for like, you know, all the sets kind of, because I made it a big deal to like all my listeners and stuff. I was like, yo, you guys got to be there from act one or whatever, because I really want them to stay for me and stuff, because like it was COVID restrictions as well, that they lowered the amount of tickets that we could sell on the door and stuff like that. So I was like, well, I don't want people leaving and stuff, and then my friends who weren't able to get tickets, you know, won't be able to come in, and their friends will leave, and no one's going to be there for my set as well. So I was like, let's just make the whole set like flow smoothly and everyone be there for the whole set and stuff. And the team, like the whole like lineup was like, dope, that sounds awesome. So we all kind of communicated well, and had everyone there for like the whole night and stuff. It just ran smoothly and stuff. It was like my first time performing a few songs live, and I really enjoyed it. It was really sick. Yeah.
No, you really need that, like that community aspect to it, the support aspect to it, like, you know, stay in. I just don't, it's hard to understand sometimes why people think that it's okay to be like, you know, I play my set at the beginning and then I leave.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, I play like towards the end, so I'll rock up then and I'll bring my friends with me then.
Yeah.
Like, It sucks. It sucks.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I had one event where I was playing last actually, and it was one of the guys. He was either first or second, and I was like front row for like literally every set, and including his. And then I remember at the end, he was said like he was really excited for mine. I was like, oh, awesome, that's it.
Yeah.
And then at the end, I realized he was definitely not there. Like I looked around and I was like, he wasn't even in like the venue or whatever. And then he sent me a message like 2 days later saying, bro, you killed that set. And I was like,
Bro,
hang
you
on.
weren't there?
I'm like literally 100% certain you weren't there. So I was just like, all right, well, it is what it is and stuff. So I was like, I'm not going to think too much about it, but.
Yeah, there's definitely a shadiness to that ability to just stand there and actually fucking support. And that was one cool thing that I loved about that show, even though there was like fuck all people there at that show that we did here. Like we all just fucking stood there. We all stood there, supported each other
100%.
and it was dope. Like, you know, obviously a couple of wild moments with the fucking triangle.
Bro, that went too hard. It went too hard.
It's so funny because when I interviewed Carter on the podcast a couple months ago and we brought the triangle up and there's only a few people that were there for that moment. But those were there, no.
Yeah.
That was
everyone there was losing their mind.
Everyone that was there, like that's the kind of moment that I fucking love and live for, because that is the kind of thing that we are gonna, like, if you and me are, you know, still homies in like 30 years, we'll be able to go, hey, remember that triangle that night? Like that would be like, regardless of where our music careers go, like make it, don't make it, whatever, we'll be able to go, hey, remember that fucking triangle? Like that was crazy.
It went too hard.
It went too hard. No matter if you're like fucking, I reckon even if you go sell out like the fucking MCG or some shit like that, 80,000 spectators. I don't reckon, like, obviously I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you'll always remember shit like that. Those moments that just stand out. No one planned it. No one thought about it, but it just captivated people in a way that like nothing else could have.
100%. It just like took everyone's attention in the room and brought us all together. Like we were all grabbing each other's arms, jumping around and stuff. So wholeheartedly agree. Yeah.
But that came from the fact that everyone was not too proud to just stand at the front and like, you know, support and just like,
100%.
you know, just be there for one another. And like, because, you know, those guys who got up first, like, I'm sure there was an element of like, there might have been some nerves, like we're up first, no one knows us, there's not that many people here, but we all just stood there. We all stood there fucking arm in arm, supported them, made them feel like kings, and the rest of the night flowed off the back of that. And it's not that hard to do.
100%. I agree.
Costs nothing to be a fucking good cunt. You know?
I mean, yeah, especially if you're already going to be on there on the night. So
if you're already there, just do it.
Just be there for an extra like 30 minutes or so.
Yeah. That's actually one thing like I've loved about Melbourne. Like I've had a few experiences when I was living in Sydney, actually a lot of experiences when I was living in Sydney where that energy didn't exist. There was a lot of ego. There was a lot of like, I'll do my set and then I'll leave. My boys will come for my set and then we're fucking going to the smoking section no matter what.
Yeah.
Whereas like since I've been here, there hasn't been any of that. It's been like real love. Like there's been, you know, people fucking watch every set. People, you know, jumping around, trying their best to get into it, trying their best to sing. Like, you know, being awkward, but just like doing it anyway. Like, there's been a lot of that, and it has been very, it's been humbling and really cool to see that, because can't ask for much more as a performer. People just giving a fuck, like can't ask for much more.
Literally. That's like the whole community aspect you're talking about. Just like people showing love, you showing love back and stuff. It's just like, that's what music is meant to do in the end of the day. It's not meant to like put you on like different platforms. It's meant to like bring people together. I think that's like the whole concept of like where music started. It's like playing at ceremonies and stuff, people getting involved and stuff. And why let that die out because of egos?
Yeah, totally. Yep. What's the Perth scene like?
Good, actually.
What's your Perth community like?
Good, actually. Yeah, the group that I kind of hang with is I would definitely say like the kind of main group is in the terms of like the most supportive group and stuff, where it's like, you know, anyone that I kind of like, I mean, I will kind of just like make it my effort to go to like most shows, like if not all kind of thing, where it's like I'm like definitely like always like, all right, let me go to the front row, let me show my presence, let me like jump so like someone else behind me might jump and get involved and stuff. Like that's definitely the whole idea, and it makes it easier because I definitely can rely on my friends and fellow artists doing the same because we all kind of go there with that mindset and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's really sick. It's like there's definitely a supportive group, and don't get me wrong, there are still like cliques for sure, which there are in a lot of places, but it's just like looking at Sydney versus Perth, it's definitely like way more cliquey in Sydney, but it's also like there's way more going on in Sydney. There's not as many artists putting in as high amount of an effort in Perth, but there is still a lot going on and stuff. And there's definitely there's definitely like a lot of love going around for sure. And it's like shows will do well on that basis because it's like, oh, cool, you came to my show, you were in the front row, let me return the favor and stuff. And of course there like can be like some instances where like ego and stuff can get in the way or something like that. But I'd say on the general scale, like Perth is really good. It's really coming together. There's like so much talent in there and stuff. And it's just like, it's good. But the only thing is, of course, like we are a bit isolated. It is a bit tricky to get our sound out. And there's really only a few that I feel like there's like a ceiling you can hit. And then beyond that, there's kind of like, there's artists like beyond that ceiling without a doubt and stuff. Like, I don't know if you've heard of Complete or Shadow.
I know Complete very well.
Yeah. And those artists are like, killing it and stuff. But it's like below them is like quite far below them and stuff. Like,
right, I see what you're saying.
There's
a couple of guys who have like managed to break through, but the rest are kind of just hovering back here.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think there's definitely like this generation kind of thing is the one that's really, really pushing to break it and stuff. And and that's to be honest, that's a full motive behind me going on these Sydney and Melbourne trips where it's like, cool, let me just go outside of Perth, do my stuff.
Spread the Perth brand.
Exactly. Yeah. And then if anything good happens from it, I was like, Perth is still always what I would like rep and stuff, it's always something really close to my heart and stuff. So, I guess that's kind of like, I don't know, I'd say Perth as a scene is like really good, like really supportive and stuff, but it's just a lot smaller and it's just a bit too isolated.
A little bit more isolated.
Nothing really we can do about that, but it's like, you know what, if the artists keep pushing and stuff, hopefully one day that will give us a bit more shine and stuff and people might be watching Perth a little bit more closely perhaps.
Yeah, totally. Who are, if you could pick 3 names that are coming out of Perth right now, not including yourself.
Oh, okay.
That you really like and that you think people should look out for.
Yep. All right. I really got to pick Daunt for sure. He is if I can give him a quick like elevator pitch.
Go for it.
He is like a dubstep producer turned into a rap producer. And he's like making every sound from like scratch and stuff. He will just like literally he will like flick this and sample it or whatever, go into Serum, turn it into something. And it's like doesn't sound anything like that. He's just nuts and he knows my sound very well and what I'm going for.
So Daunt is the one you were walking with every Tuesday?
Yes. Yeah. Definitely Daunt. Who else off the top of my head? This is really a lot of pressure, isn't
That's
it?
okay. Don't fuck up.
Let's see. I'm gonna go with let me think of someone I've done it. I got to give a shout out to Goon as well.
I was hoping you'd say Goon.
Yeah, of course. Like Goon is one of my closest friends as well. Yeah, and he's sick live. And one good thing about him is like he does a lot of like lyrics that like you might hear a lot of like kind of the kind of like them really hard rappers talk about like these flex lyrics and stuff.
Right.
But none of them are cap. Like this man's like proving them every time and stuff. He's he's like, oh yeah, took Shorty to like the top floor of the penthouse or something. And it's like, damn, he actually does that. Like even when we go to places, he's like booking the hotels. He's like, man, like, can we just put an extra? I got to go on the penthouse and stuff. And like, he's just like about that life and stuff. So I was like, damn, I can respect that because he is like no cap in there. And he's like some of the hardest lyrics. So, and he's great at melodies, great at raps and stuff. Yeah. Cannot forget my guy.
Yep.
I gotta pick one more. I feel like,
you can't say Wesley Black.
Of course not. I'm going to go with, since I already gave some of the Goonie Boys love earlier, I might stray away from that and I'll pick someone else. I might go with Oshua. He has a really sick sound. He makes really like melodic rap. It's like really like C mixed with rap and stuff. And he just like has a really unique sound and he's really killing it. He's like, he's really killing like streams wise and stuff and he's just doing well. And I really love his sound. So
all right, cool. I'll link all those guys below in the comment. No, not the comment, the description. Yeah.
Yep.
I'll get that by the end of this fucking conversation in the description. And everyone can go have a look at them, have a little scope. I actually really, really rated Goon's flexibility You know, like
Yep.
he had a pretty diverse range. Like obviously he had a fair bit of singing in there, but like the bars are real hard. His voice control was great. Like
Yep.
yeah, he impressed the fuck out of me that night. So
Yeah, 100%.
yeah, shout out Goon.
Shout out Goon for sure.
Yeah. Actually, that on just on that night one more time. That was probably one of my most memorable moments was watching you sing King of the World.
Oh, true.
Yeah, because like I think just because it was such a step down from everything else, and just like and it has that real like sing along kind of like
Yeah.
I remember everyone's kind of waving their hands from side to side, and
Yeah.
it just has a really, even though there's a bit of a serious kind of emotional undertone to it, like it does have a very fun kind of sing along energy to it, and it was cool. How's it been tracking?
Yeah, really good actually. It's probably the best received song that I've released. So
Yep.
I was super stoked about that because it is probably the most like, I don't know, one of the most important songs to me at least. Probably the most. It's like, I think one of my managers, actually Roshan, he brought it up to me. He's like, man, I noticed one thing about your songs. He's like, you're good at like writing happy songs that are actually like sad, or like the lyrics are like more sad and stuff. And I was like,
that's what that is.
Oh yeah. And I was like, yeah, I couldn't picture that, but it's like makes sense and stuff. And that was just like, that song was like super real and stuff. I wrote it about my girlfriend at the time and stuff. And that's only why I didn't release it, because we had broken up and stuff. And I was like, all right, this is not the time. Let me wait till
it didn't feel like as real to you at the time.
Yeah, because it was like, about like kind of me being in a bad situation, but like having someone to rely on to make you feel like the king of the world, feel like you're like doing amazing things and stuff. And it's like, well, this isn't true right now. I was like, let me release this sad song. And then after that, I was like, let me feel good
Shout
again.
out.
And I want to release this song that's about feeling good when I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what I did and stuff. But I don't know. Otherwise, it was great. Like got to do the launch, I can't really speak on it because I don't actually know fully, but there's a remix that we made, which I still believe is coming out, but there was just a few issues with it. So hopefully that will come through, but I'm really excited if that does get to happen, because I don't know, I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
What else? It got featured on Scroll, which was really sick. So that's like they make like anime music videos and stuff, and their channel is really big. So it actually got like way more like YouTube views than my actual music video got. And I was like, damn, it's really putting mine to shame. But what was actually the coolest part from that is that like maybe like 8 or so something like just popped up where it was like just some random person uploading Wesley Black King of the World with just
cool.
like anime things or like just like a
cool.
picture and stuff. And I was like, oh, this is actually like dope. Like,
that's dope.
It was sick. And I got a few DMs asking like, oh, would you like me to make one and stuff? Like more like paid ones as well. So I was like, I'll probably just tone down on it for now. I was like, let's just wait for the next release and stuff. But that was dope. And
the music video is great, by the way.
Oh, appreciate that. Oh, thanks very much. Yeah. I was super stoked to that. I was like,
did you direct it?
I did, yeah. And edited that one myself as well.
Oh, you did?
So
okay.
I didn't do the VFX. That's definitely out of my league. But shout out Nathan Simic. He did the VFX, and I basically like lived at his house for like 3 or 4 days where I sat on my computer editing, and he was sitting on his computer doing VFX and just sending it over to me as I added it in and stuff.
Yeah.
It was a hectic few days, but I got very close to him and I got to know a lot about him and stuff.
Yeah.
So he is a G. I really like him. And I like worked with him a few times. Definitely want to work with him way more and stuff, just because, I had this vision from ages ago where I was like, I have to be flying a plane. That has to be like the main visual for this video. And then it has to have like the storyline. I want to have like an alien girl and stuff. And it was just dope to be able to work with someone who was like really like-minded and was like, yep, I can make that happen. Yep, I can make that happen. I was like, cool, done. So it was, it was just like, it was really fun. It was really fun for sure.
I really, the thing I liked most about it is that like the angles and the actual frames were really, they were just really well selected. And,
dope.
Like they kept the story going like in a really succinct, kind of tangible way. It was just like really, I feel like with music videos sometimes it can be all about like, let's just throw, as long as it kind of like fits and there's some kind of like transition that's cool, there's some kind of effect that's cool. Like I think the art of like framing and actually telling a story with the right angles is actually kind of lost sometimes. But I feel like, you definitely lent into that with that music video. And I think it was, you did really well with it.
Awesome. No, I really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. Yeah. I was really happy with how it turned out in the end, especially like with the long process and stuff. Like definitely towards the end, kind of half of that, I was like, I kind of just want this to be done and I don't want to do the extra stuff. But actually, Nathan, shout out him again. He really pushed me to do a few shots that I was like, we don't really need it. He's like, no, let's just do it. Let's just do it.
Hectic.
And in the end, of course, I was like,
it's worth it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he was 100% right. So,
100%.
Yeah.
All right. Is Wesley Black your real name?
It's not.
Ah!
I'm sorry to say.
Damn it.
It's a shame.
That's all right. That's okay. Oi, it's all good. I don't rap under my real name anyway.
True.
There's probably a lot of us out there that don't.
True. I would think most.
Where does Wesley Black come from?
So Wesley Black is it's kind of an interesting story. I was just like, ever since I was little, I used to be obsessed with like writing. Like literally ever since I learned to write, I would like write stories, comic books and stuff. And pretty much did that all the way up until I was like maybe 15 or something. And then I kind of got into poetry. And that's when after kind of poetry, I got into rap because they're a lot more similar. Poetry and rap are pretty much the exact same, just with a beat. And I just didn't really have a name at the time. And I kind of got one that just didn't really stick for a while. And so I was like, okay, let me think of what to use as a name or whatever. And I ended up going through like a lot of my older stories just because I was looking through. And one of them, the story is called The Angel Hunter, which is why I named my EP Angel. It's kind of like a big part of that. And so The Angel Hunter is like a sci-fi book. And he's actually not one of the main characters, but one of the characters in there is called Wesley Black. And I was like, yo, this character is sick. He's just like the real me, but he's like way better. He has like way more, like he's really emotion driven and he has like a lot of like rage and anger and stuff, which was a lot of my sound at the time. It's kind of like taking a step back, but he's always been like the most like one to show his emotions the most and stuff, which is definitely something I want to come across with in my music and stuff. And it's just kind of like the idea of the story is like the sky changes. I mean, this is like the really loose kind of thing, but the sky changes colors at different points of time, and it's kind of like to signify kind of generations-y kind of thing. And the last one is actually the black sky. Before, it's kind of like the world is kind of closing off and stuff, and characters are kind of just like born. Characters are named after what sky they were born under. So Wesley Black's just one of the later
born
characters
under the black sky.
So that's where he gets his name from. And I was just like, man, I love this character. And so I ended up just going like, well, I actually wanted a real name for my rap name that I could just like use for everything. And I was like, this character like really speaks to me. So to be honest, I kind of stole it, but I stole it from myself. So
no fair.
Yeah. So that's the Wesley Black origin story.
Yeah, and it's definitely got a it's got a sharpness to it, a sexiness to it.
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate that.
And a sexiness that I've noticed gets translated into a lot of your photos and your content.
Hey, no comment. Hey,
Blue Steel over here.
It was all the photographer. I was just standing there.
Yeah, no. Is that something you've thought about, like a modeling career? Or?
Oh, you're too kind. To be honest, I think I'm too short for that. But I appreciate the input though. Whereas like I would if I could, but I don't know if it's possible. But if there was like a possibility of maybe like acting or something, that would be dope. I've always been really into like movies and stuff, which is the big part of why I'm like so involved in like directing and editing.
The whole process.
Yeah, I'm definitely like a really visual kind of person and stuff, or even like writing would be dope. But who knows? I think acting would be cool. So I don't know.
Pretty much the same shit.
Yeah. I don't know if I have the skills for it yet, but I'll be determined if I don't know. It's probably not the right time of my life now because I'm really focused on music, but maybe down the line you can see me trying out for some acting.
And I think definitely they definitely overlap. Like a lot of the skills overlap, and if you're a creative that kind of has like a really driven vision and you kind of know how to execute on that vision, like you definitely like pivot into any of the other kind of art forms. Not straight away, obviously you got to learn some of the technical side of things, but the idea of being a visionary and being able to like, convey and convert that vision into actually something, like that is a skill set that it should be able to be communicated or translated into like any medium.
And having that like art centric kind of brain just like, you know, helps like you said, kind of like your brain kind of comprehend each of those kind of things. So it's like, okay, cool. This is how you're meant to think in these situations and stuff. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay. What does success look like for Wesley Black? I'm talking in 30, 40, 50 years time, you're sitting there, I don't know, not necessarily on your deathbed, but just like kind of in a rocking chair somewhere, and you look back and you're like, I fucking did it. I made it.
Yeah. I'm thinking like immediately I'm thinking towards like how's like my mom doing and stuff? Because like my mom's like hell big inspiration in my life. She's like, I don't know, she's just like the goat. And it's like how my sister's doing and stuff or whatever. Do I have kids and stuff? You know, like the people really close to me and stuff, are they doing well? And could I have done something about that? I think I would be definitely more inclined to believe I'm successful if like those people around me are doing well for sure.
Yeah, totally.
And or more on a personal thing, it's quite hard to gauge. I think it's just like, I think it is just that. I think it's more personal, which isn't probably the greatest response because like success should, I guess, like in most terms be something quite like tangible, something quite measurable. But it's like, I guess it is in a sense actually quite measurable, but it's like, you know, have I ticked the boxes that I want to do and stuff? Whereas my boxes are kind of just do these things, not do these things to an extreme extent and stuff, where it's like, I mean, in music, of course I do. Like, I would love to like, I would just like love to work with as many people that I think would allow me to grow, and I would like be able to allow them to grow as well, where it's just like, you know, I could like contribute something to music or something, or leave some sort of legacy where it's like, oh, Wesley Black actually, you know, worked with this artist early on and this is kind of how he shaped their sound, or it's like this Wesley Black worked with this artist and this is how they shaped Wesley's sound or whatever and stuff like that. Could be dope. But also like ticking things like, you know, like be involved in some sort of movie or something, or finish writing that Angel Hunter is like actually a big one of mine that I've took a really long break from. But stuff like that was just like, it's just like is dope. And those things are just like probably the most meaningful things to me, because it's like, you know what, if I die and that Angel Hunter thing is not dead, and that's not finished, and that's just like chilling in my room, I was like, that is just an L. That's not success. I was like, I want things to get done, and it's difficult because, you know, the human like brain always is just like, cool, once you get this done, or you're not even done with it, once you're getting close to getting this done, here's another idea you want to get done. Here's another one. Here's another one. It's just like, it might be impossible to reach them all out, but I don't know. I think I have kind of acquired like a really good lifestyle for myself where I can just like balance a lot of things as much as I can. And yeah, I just think success will be definitely altered by how many of these avenues can I kind of cater to and stuff, because those are the most important things to me, like as a creative for sure. And then obviously outside of that, family, friends, are they doing well? Could I have done something to help? That is definitely a big importance as well.
So it sounds like it's not really about like a number of streams. It's not really about a number of people that were at a show. It's more about like, did I do the things that I told myself that I was going to do?
Yeah, for sure.
Finishing Angel Hunter.
For sure.
Making sure my family are good.
For sure.
If, you know, writing that movie, whatever it is. Like if I tell myself that I'm going to do it and I've done it, that's what success is.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? One that could be kind of more in that first realm as well could be like, I don't know, having some big contribution to like putting Perth on the map or something like that would be dope. I don't know exactly how, but I'm definitely like feel like I'm more so in tune now, especially doing design and stuff, you know. That would be dope. That could be dope. I don't know. Wesley for Premier
Black.
Yeah.
Premier Wesley Black.
The mayor.
Yeah.
Black.
The mayor.
Yeah. You got me dreaming now.
Now we're talking. Yeah.
Screw all that rap stuff, you know.
Yeah. Isn't the Premier like a bit of a like he's on the outer at the moment? I don't know too much about him, but we don't have to comment on it. Actually, let's just keep moving, because it's like we could open up a can of worms there that like we just don't have to go. Especially the way that like COVID was handled in Western Australia, it's just like not worth it.
Yeah.
Let's just keep moving. But that's essentially success for Wesley Black.
Yes, I agree. Okay. Yeah. I think so. Yeah. I don't know.
And it's probably going to change, you know, like.
For sure, yeah.
Like I think there's probably some non-negotiables, like making sure my family's good. Yep. Like, you know, there'd be some non-negotiables in there, but I think there is probably other there are some of those things that will change. Some will move up in priority, some will move down in priority.
Yeah.
So like that's all you can do is answer right now what it will look like for you.
Yeah.
In 10 years, who fucking knows?
A lot of my goals, I feel like, are just like layers as well, where it's just like there's never like an end goal. It's just like this is just like.
Nor should there be.
You should be better this each time. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like live shows and stuff. Like I'll be running my next live show September 16. That's a sneaky announcement. I haven't actually announced it yet, but it'll be then. And the last one I run, because I'll run like one a year, and it's more towards the latter half of the year. And I figured I always had to do something crazy for it, like starting at the last two ago or whatever. And the last one I ended up so I'm a big fan of WWE. And I ended up putting my friend
just suplex?
I like kind of like did a crossbody through a table to one of my friends.
Actually?
Yeah. So it's like
Is there footage?
Yeah, there is actually. I can show you. It's like a makeshift table. So it's like
So I was ready to be broken.
Yeah, so we actually tried to make like a real one, and it was actually just going to be too expensive and difficult and stuff, especially if we wanted to make this a tradition, because I want to make this like a, come to Wesley Black show, he will break a table and stuff, which is 100% what I'm going to do. So at the next one, definitely expect a table to be there.
Okay.
No questions asked.
Yeah.
But so I was just like super into wrestling, and one of my friends, he was just like in on it and stuff. So I called him out from the crowd and stuff, and he called me back out and stuff. And then I like left, and when I came back, I hit him with a chair, and then on the drop of the song, this is what happened. So,
oh, nice.
So I was like, my friend Goon, actually, shout out Goon again.
Goon.
He launched
He's always
me,
ready.
Yeah, he launched me up in the air, and I did kind of a big flying crossbody and slammed my friend Lavelle through a table. And I don't know, it was just dope, because that really felt like I could have captivated on it more, because I feel like that could be something that's just like had the potential to be like, oh, okay, cool. I can really push that and be like, yo, this is what Wesley Black is doing. This is what Perth is doing and stuff as well, and kind of really build that. But it's like, I feel like, just like stuff like that as well. It's like, creating a moment or a conversation where people can leave the show and talk about like, the set was hard, but like the table though.
Yo,
like,
remember that guy that fucking got put to that table? That was hectic.
I feel like that's what people want to leave with and stuff, where it's like, I don't want to make this just another show and stuff. And then it's just like, that's one of my goals always, where it's like, okay, cool. Armageddon 3, that was dope. How am I going to make Armageddon 4 harder than that? And I saved some ideas from the last one, where I was like, cool, I don't want to use them now. I want to use them at the next show. And then hopefully I can just keep expanding on that each year. I don't know how I'm going to keep topping it. I'm going to have to pull out a ladder sometime.
You're going to have to like swallow a chainsaw or...
I don't know. I had to set a table on fire or something. But it was actually dope. So shout out Rosemount Hotel, because they let us...
do some crazy shit.
Do that, and they were actually really, really cool about it. And now we have footage to pitch to other people that it's like, cool, we've done it. It was safe. Other venues have allowed it, and here's proof of it and stuff. So it's like 100%. Cool. They've set us up for success. So shout out Rosemount. The sound tech there is a goat as well.
Yeah, love that. Thank you, Rosemount. All right, so you just mentioned goals. What does the rest of I know we got a little sample on August 5th. There's something coming out, but what does the rest of 2022 look like for Wesley Black?
I definitely, it kind of relies on, I don't know. It kind of relies on things going how I see them going now. Otherwise, some of these may not be as attainable, but definitely goals I can think of off the top of my head. I definitely want to hit like something like streams wise, like 100,000 or something like that, which would just like really
on
just
one
like
song.
Yeah. Which is just like really ramp up like, I don't know, just like my legitimacy to the craft and stuff like that, because it's been something I've been trying for ages. And to be fully honest with you, the closest one is King of the World, which is like
48.
Yeah, which is like still, when you think about it, not actually that close. It's like,
But I think the fact that your last single was nearly at 50, and this next single, it sounds like it has some pretty cool features and stuff. Like I reckon you can definitely get close.
Yeah. So let's hope so, because that's like a really big goal of mine, and it's like that's for sure is one. Another like kind of like more in that tangible area is it sounds kind of unrealistic, but to go trending on YouTube, I feel like is a possibility. It's going to be a difficult one, but I feel like if everything aligns correctly, it could definitely happen. If not, it might be something for the future or whatever.
Okay.
But I feel like 2022 could be a possibility as long as all the stars align. Otherwise, there's just like a lot of artists as well I really want to work with. So shout out Dell as well. I worked with them both times in Sydney, but they were probably one of my favorite artists to work with out of beyond from Perth and stuff. And they were just like really sick. They were just
Who is this? Sorry,
so Dell is their name. So it's like 3 brothers and
DELL.
just 1 L.
Yeah,
and 2 of them are producers, but they both use different doors. So one's on like Ableton, one's on Logic, I think, which is kind of mad. They're just sending each other stuff there.
Yeah, okay.
And the third brother is like a songwriter and stuff. So we were just all sitting in the same room, and he was kind of like helping me pitch ideas and stuff or whatever. And they were like kind of producing accordingly and stuff. And it was just like such a different experience because in Perth, you know,
and they're all brothers. Okay, that'd be wild.
Yeah. There's actually a 4th member as well who is not in
The
Dell,
manager.
but they have no. He's actually a musician as well. So I think he's a lawyer to be. I don't want to be telling cap on here, so I could be wrong. But I believe the oldest brother or the other brother, I'm not sure if he's the oldest, is a lawyer, but he also has joined their other band, which has all 4 of them. But it's not called Dell. It's called
That'd be
something else.
wild.
Yeah. But it was just sick to work with them because, you know, in Perth, it's really like you just work on your own stuff. And that's just like how it is or whatever. And I just experiencing that more collaborative kind of side was just like such a big switch up. And I was just like, wow, this is kind of dope. It's like, I like working on my own and I like working in like a collaborative space and stuff. It's like, cool. I like having both of these instead of just having to pick one for sure. I don't think I could do one of them just ever now. Cause it's like, now that I've experienced both, I'd love to.
There'd be
just
pros and cons. Yeah.
100%. So working with a lot of artists that I really want to work with, and ticking some of those boxes for sure. I think those are probably some of my main goals. I think,
There's some pretty good ones on there.
Yeah. I think some of them are going to be harder than others, and some of them will be easier than others, but I don't know. That's my goals at the moment, and if they don't come true, I'm not fazed because I would love to set new goals at the start of the next year. But if they do come true, dope. That's awesome.
Keep moving.
Yeah, that's awesome. Actually, that's another one as well. Sell out the next Armageddon show for sure. That will be one. So hopefully I can get that done because that will be sick.
Hectic. So we've got August 5th, we've got the next single.
Yes.
And then Armageddon somewhere down the track.
Yep, September 16th.
September 16th.
Yep.
Okay. And I'll try and put a little sneaky link to either of these in the description.
Yes, the description.
Beauty.
Yep.
All right, Wesley Black. Thank you for coming on Slaaap Haaapy.
Thank you.
I'm going to let you go because you need to go get some sleep, my friend.
That is true.
I appreciate you making the effort.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I didn't get to come through last time, so I was like, I have to. So even though it's not the longest trip, I was like, there's always time. So I had to come through.
Dope.
Awesome. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for having me.
Apology. All right. Thanks for tuning in to Slaaap Haaapy, guys. This has been Wesley Black and Civilian. I'll drop all the links to all of his music and upcoming stuff below in the description section. Tune in next week to Slaaap Haaapy and keep on slapping.
We can do it like this all day, hey, don't stop. Inhibitions run away, hey, don't stop. Let a bug hit windshield, scrape those off. My team running up big hills, they won't stop.